Hi, I've been doing really good. Yeah. Thank you for asking.
So what would you like to talk about today?
Maybe we could just talk a little bit about like how my week is going and follow up a little bit on what we discussed last time.
Okay, well, let's dive deeper into your relationship like we discussed last time. How's that been going?
It's been okay. I mean, he recently came to see me this past Sunday for a brief period of time. But he was late, which I think I talked about that with you last time, maybe. But it really irritates me when he doesn't show up on the time that we agree upon. And I think that comes down again to the issues that we have with our communication styles.
Okay. Have you discussed with him like distractions and not showing up on time, like how it affects you?
Oh, yes, that's right. We talked about the distractions last time. Um, yeah, I've definitely brought it up to him before, and I think maybe I mentioned that last time, but I really do need to be a lot more confrontational maybe about it. I think it's really easy to like talk about stuff with your partner and then kind of make a joke out of it instead of being like, this is like a serious conversation and I really need you to like listen to me right now and like let's not make this into like something that's funny.
Yeah.
Um for sure, but yeah, I have talked about it. I just think it's something that we need to keep talking about. Um but I also don't want to excuse like behavior if it's not being heard.
Sounds like you're approaching it with a thoughtful mindset of working through it and also like understanding his feelings. I know we had talked about bringing him in as well. What was his reaction?
Well, he's actually never been to therapy before. He has talked about like his emotional thought processes with like me and family and stuff. He's just never been in like a therapeutic setting before. But I do think that he would be open to that. The more I kind of like introduce the idea to him, and maybe if I like the more sessions that we do together, I can kind of explain how it's been positive for me and how it could be positive for both of us.
Has the communication styles that you guys have been having changed lately? Like any positives to it?
Um, Yes, I would say that because we are a long distance, well, kind of long distance couple, that a lot of our conversations happen over the phone. And I think that we've been able to kind of talk more about these issues in person when we're together, instead of doing them all through the phone and like text message and FaceTime and stuff like that. Just because I think that it's different when you see the person face to face and like get their actual like in-person reactions and see their body language. So I guess the positive would be like moving away from having these serious conversations on the phone and instead doing them in person.
Okay, okay. It sounds like you guys have like communicated a lot better than what you guys have. Um, has he been less distracted by like less distracted with his like things around him when you guys are communicating?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that there's a lot more direct eye contact. You know, he's not looking at his phone as much. Like when I ask him, like, directly, like, I think we should have a conversation, you know, putting those things away and down and just like actually like being in the space together and being present, and, like, you know, facing each other physically and like looking each other in the eye and stuff like that. Um, which is definitely a positive change and a little bit different from, I guess, how we had been doing things before.
It sounds like you guys have made a lot of improvement. Um, and on that note, I know you said you wanted to discuss other things. What else would you like to discuss?
Well, aside from my relationship, I am, just in that kind of like sweet spot of life. Like I'm 25, gonna be turning 26 soon. And just kind of focusing on like what I want to do, post graduation, where I want to move to, kind of just like life things, I guess. Thinking more about like the future and what that might look like for me.
Have have you considered all your career paths and like your options?
Yeah, I've definitely considered a lot of different things within the counseling field that I'm interested in. I just think I'm like the kind of person that like is presented with a lot of different options and has like a really hard time making a decision. Um, and so sometimes I'll like put things off because of that.
I know you have been in a relationship for like 7 years. Would
Mm.
you consider moving to where he is since you guys are doing long distance?
Yeah, we've talked about that, and that's actually kind of a part of this transitional period that like I'm going through as well because like when you're in a relationship that long, it does become like a we thing. Like as you get older, um, it's something that we've talked about. Yeah, I just think it's a little bit more down the line because I want to finish school first and sort of establish myself a little bit more, maybe before I think about like moving in and getting married and all that stuff.
Sounds like you have a really good mindset.
Thank you. I appreciate
Have you
that.
explored your career paths down in the area that he's from?
He is from a very country area. So, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of need like everywhere for counseling, the counseling field and the profession and everything. But with his job, he moves around a lot. So, I mean, he travels a lot, not moves around. He travels a lot. So, really, it's just like a hard it's kind of a confusing conversation to have just because we're kind of like all over the place. Um, but it's something I've considered, yeah.
Um, what career paths down in there would you say like you want to do?
Um, I'm definitely interested in like private practice work. Um, I'm not really sure what populations I'm specifically interested in right now. Mostly just kind of a little bit of everything, just to keep things like broad. But I'm definitely interested in private practice work and definitely things that I really like community based stuff as well, things that really help the area in which you live. So maybe something like that.
It's good to get a feel of different things so you can see which one you like and which one you don't.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. So I feel like I'm just using this time to really like explore all those options, even if it's a lot of things at once. I working on taking things like step by step and not trying to like have everything figured out in like one day.
Yeah, that can be very hard to sit and do in one
Hmm.
day.
Hmm.
It takes time to sit and think about it and really decide like if that's something you like passionately want to do.
Hmm.
Has he have you guys like ever discussed on like maybe him moving to where you are? Like if there's more career options there?
Yeah, there's definitely more career options here. He's actually like quote unquote stationed here. Like his headquarters, what he does for work is actually where I live. So it does make more sense for him to come here. There's more to do here. There's more opportunities. It's more city life. So I think that's definitely something that we've been considering. Um, but I would definitely have to talk with him more about that. Mhm.
Okay, well, maybe next time in our next session we can sit down and discuss like different career paths and like the benefits of doing that career, and then like also like factor in where you guys are, like if it'd be better maybe to pursue a career where you're at and him move to you or vice versa.